Hello everyone. Hello guys. How are you guys on today? Guess what time it is? It is story time with Miss Doris. I'm so excited. I have an awesome book for you guys, and today we're going to go ahead on and get started. I would like to greet everyone all over the world. I would like to say hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some, good night. Someone is going to bed somewhere in the world, but guess what? You are just in time for story time with Miss Doris. I'm so excited to be reading you an awesome book on today. Today's story we're going to be reading is Become a Leader Like Michelle Obama. Become a leader like Michelle Obama. Remember, we are still in the month of February, so we are reading Black history books. So today's book we're reading is Work It Girl. Become a leader like Michelle Obama. Become a leader like Michelle Obama. And guess what? We did start the alphabet letter, the sign in alphabets. So guess what? Today's letter is going to be the letter N. Today's letter is going to be the letter N. So we're just going to go ahead on and get started. We're going to do the letter first, and then we're going to do that story time song, which you are waiting for. Let's do the letter N in sign language. You're going to do the letter N in sign. So remember that we always do. Get those fingers up. Move those muscles around. Get those finger tendons loosen up. Let me see you wiggle those fingers, guys, like they are little worms. So remember, I need to see the front facing of your hand. The front facing of your hand. And we are going to do the letter N in sign. Let's do the letter N in sign. So we're going to do hands up. Put your hands up like this. Fold those two fingers. Then we're going to cross over like this. This is the letter N. On Friday, we did the letter M. Friday was the letter M. But today, we are doing the letter N. Let's see the front facing of those hands. I can't see you guys' hands. Put those hands up really high. We are going to do the letter N in sign. Let's do the letter N. Fold those two fingers. Put the thumb across like that. Fold those two over. This is the letter N. Well, maybe some of you need to do it with your other hand. Wiggle those fingers, get them moving. Those two fingers down, thumb across. Letter N. This is the letter N. So, let's do it a little faster. No, we're not going to do it faster just yet. Let's just say it in our mind. Hello, Elect Lady Washington. How are you on today? We're doing the letter N in sign. Today's letter is the letter N. Okay, guys, get those fingers up again. We're going to do the letter N without saying the letter out loud. Say it in your mind silently. Hands up. Let's see those front facing of those hands. And let's do the letter N. Hello, Royce. Hello, Miss Nisha. How are you? Hello, Shakana. Hello, Shaquavia. Hello, Minerva. Hello, J. Marie. Hello, J. Rock. Hello, Poofers. Hello, Sarok. Hello, Champagne Alexei. Hello, Martel. Hello, Zanaya. We are doing the letter N in sign. Royce, I know you got this, Royce. Let's do the letter N without saying the letter out loud. Hello, Shakana. Hello, Shaquavia. How are you on today? We are doing the letter N. Hands up. Now, let's do it a little faster a couple of times. We're doing the letter N in sign. We're doing the letter N, Shakana. Doing the letter N. Get those fingers up, Shakana. Wiggle them around. Thank you. Wiggle those fingers around. I need to see the front facing of your hand. Fold those last two down. Thumb across and down. Let's do it with my left hand. job. You guys are doing an awesome job. Friday's letter was the letter M. Friday's letter was the letter M. That is the letter M. This is the letter N. M, letter N. I can do my name and sign D-O-R-I-S. Good job, guys. Well, guess what? I know you guys are ready for that story time song. Let's go ahead on and do that story time song. Remember, when we're doing that story time song, make sure you are practicing safety, safety first. Royce and Shakana and Shaquavia, I don't want you guys hurting yourself. I think that song, there it goes. Yes! I love that story time song. Make sure you're practicing safety first, guys. I can't hear you singing. Story time. I love that song. It's story time. Hello, Pastor Elect Lady Washington. How are you today? Hello to all our PLCC family. Hi, guys. Guess what? It's story time with Miss Doris. Hello to Pastor Elect Lady Howard. Hello, Elder and Sister Rainey. Hello, Brother Charles and Sister Jennifer. Mother BJ and Brother Reuben. Hello, guys. How are you on today? I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful Monday. Hello, D. Hello, Brother D. How are you? You did an awesome job yesterday in praise and worship service. I enjoyed you on yesterday. Story time with Miss. She'll read to you, sing to you, tell you all just what to do. Wow, you guys are awesome. I heard you singing so loud. Go ahead on and have a seat while I read you a story on today about Miss Michelle Obama becoming a leader. And we're going to read chapters 1 and 2 of this book on today. Chapters 1 and chapter 2. Let's get started. Become a leader like Michelle Obama. Let's turn the music down just a tad bit. Well, moms and dad, nanas and papas, go ahead on and have a seat with the children while Miss Doris read you a story on today. Chapter number 1. Happy birthday, Michelle. Michelle LaVaughn Robinson's eyes fluttered open on the morning of January 17th. She had been counting down the days to turning 8 years old for what seemed like a really long time, and it was finally here. She jumped out of bed, so excited to look in the mirror and to see if she looked any different than she did the day before. She examined her face very thoroughly, like a detective on the case, and determined that yes, she definitely did look older than she did just 24 hours earlier, when she was only 7 years old, like she used to do every day. Michelle arranged her stuffed animals around her bed. They all seemed to be smiling at her. She checked out her Barbie dolls. They were all impeccably dressed and groomed. As a child, Michelle cared very much about her few personal possessions. Her dolls were her friends. Michelle could hear voices coming from the rest of the house, so she threw on her school clothes, brushed her teeth, and dragged out her big winter coat. It was January in Chicago, after all. To go and greet her family, Michelle lived with a lot of people. There was her mom, Marion, her dad, Fraser, and her older brother, Craig. They shared a tiny space in the upstairs of a small bungalow-style house with other relatives who lived in the downstairs part of the house. Sometimes it felt really crowded because it was hard to get privacy. But on days like her birthday, she was so grateful to be so close to her family, whom she loved so much. There was always someone around and always someone to talk to. Where's Aunt Robbie, Michelle said breathlessly as her mother handed her a piece of buttered toast with yum scrambled eggs. Well, happy birthday to you, Miss Michelle. Marion Robinson laughed, giving her daughter a big smooch on the forehead, which Michelle promptly wiped off with her forearm. Her eyes darted around the room, listening for signs about Aunt Robbie. Is there a birthday girl here? There she was, Michelle's favorite aunt. Wearing her eyeglasses on a chain around her neck, with a big glamorous necklace, and singing that happy birthday song like it was an operetta. Aunt Robbie was a talented pianist and opera singer and sometimes taught Michelle lessons. She was a little scary, but only because she was so serious and important. Michelle was not scared of Aunt Robbie, but when Aunt Robbie was around, Michelle knew she was in the presence of a very, very big deal. It's time, it's me, Michelle explained. Aunt Robbie smiled at her niece, then walked into the area of the house where the beloved piano sat. Can I play the piano today? Michelle peeked her head in and asked Aunt Robbie, since it's my 8th birthday, may I play the piano today? Aunt Robbie corrected her and scooted her over on the piano bench to make room. Michelle stared at the keys, suddenly unsure of where to start. She felt her palms began to sweat. Was it too late to change her mind? Then Aunt Robbie wordlessly leaned over and tapped the key right in the middle of them all. The middle C Michelle began to play a song. Michelle was never destined to become a pianist, but her family values and sense of community were built in her hometown of Chicago. These values would inspire her to go on stage in communities across the U.S. and beyond. There she goes, sitting fiercely on the piano. And it's her birthday. And on this page, Michelle Obama is 8 years old. Wow. The only limit to the height of your achievement is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work really, really, really hard for them. There she goes, climbing up the ladder really, really high. That means you have to reach as high as you possibly can. Always follow your dreams. Chapter number 2, a very, very smart student. Michelle loved 2 things in the whole lot. She loved going to school and she loved her dad. Well, she loved her whole family, of course, but she really loved her dad, Frazier. Her dad was her hero, even though he had been diagnosed with a disease called multiple sclerosis, or MS, a condition that affects your brain and spinal cord, which causes things like muscle weakness and tiredness. It never seemed like he was slowing down. He even drove a really, really cool car. He was always saying something wise. And Michelle learned early on that school that she would listen very, very carefully to what her dad would tell her. He seemed to always know best. And then there was school. Michelle loved school. She loved reading, making up stories, and in her head and on the stage and on the page, And she also loved creating art. She had a big imagination and tried to exhaust it every single day. She loved spelling tests, math tests, and science project. But this wasn't always the case with the kids in her class. And at 8 years old, Michelle's second grade teacher was full of other 8-year-olds who always seemed to be bouncing off the walls. This was frustrated to Michelle to no end. She wanted to learn. She wanted to read books. She wanted to be quizzed on the passages that she had read. But to be excited about school was seen as a kind of uncool by her peers, and she didn't want to make a ton of friends. It didn't bother Michelle that she couldn't find her own age to connect with. She kept herself busy with her studies, with her families, and piano lessons with Aunt Robbie. But her teacher was starting to notice Michelle wasn't challenged enough by the second grade work and moved her up to the third grade. Wow, that's awesome, Michelle. That was cool. Michelle was really proud of herself. By the time Michelle was about to go to high school, she was more aware of the world around her. She knew her family was not as rich as some of the other kids had grown up with. They didn't have a ton of extra money to buy a fancy house, or even though Michelle would say she didn't go without anything. But money and possessions are important to some, and their lack of... There go Michelle in class, and the kids just bouncing off the wall. But Michelle was into her education. She didn't have time for nonsense. Finally, finer inner things in life caused small-minded people to look down on Michelle and her family. Plus, being black, even in Chicago, where there were lots of people from lots of different backgrounds, could be dangerous. When they were younger, Craig got a brand new bike for his birthday, but a police officer accused him of stealing it. Michelle's mother was so mad that she yelled at the officer and made him apologize to her son. Michelle saw that her mother was strong, and she wanted to be strong too. Michelle saw her mother's example of demanding respect and learned a very big lesson that day. While Michelle was studying hard in high school, she started to dream about the kind of college she wanted to go to. Education was the most important thing to Michelle's mom and dad. They didn't get the opportunity themselves, and so they instilled the idea of higher learning into their children. Michelle's dad loved Buick cars and drove around the neighborhood with a big house in the rich, lush yards. This is what life could look like if you go to a good college and get a good job, her parents would say to her. Craig went to college first, and he went to Princeton. Michelle wanted to go to Princeton too. She had worked so hard. She studied constantly, did all of her homework, and aced nearly all of her tests. No one is perfect. So she was excited to walk in the college advisor's office to tell of her dreams to be a Princeton student. She had never met this woman before, but it was her job it was her job to help the students figure out where they wanted to go for college and how to make sure their applications were submitted correctly. Michelle would never forget the words that came out of the advisor's mouth. "I'm not sure," she said, "that you are Princeton material." Oh my goodness. I bet Michelle felt some type of way, but her parents instilled something really good in her. That was a gut punch. If you ever been told you couldn't become someone or something you know how Michelle was feeling on this day. First, it makes you really, really mad. And then it makes you really, really sad. What if these naysayers are right? What if they know you better than you know yourself? And you really can't do or be who you want to be. Michelle had to think fast. She had spent her whole life preparing to go to college, and this college advisor didn't know her from Eve. Who was she to say what Michelle could or could not do? Don't let anyone discourage you guys. You be all that you can be. And on that discouragement, make sure you let your parents know. They should not have never said that to Michelle Obama. But Michelle smiled politely, then marched over to Mr. Smith, her neighbor and assistant principal. Mr. Smith knew Michelle very well, and so Michelle asked him to write a letter of recommendation to Princeton. He did not bat an eye. He wrote a letter. Michelle took the letter and submitted it along with her grades and essays to Princeton. 7 months later, she found out she was accepted. Yes, thank you, God. She was accepted. What would have happened if she listened to that college advisor? Would it have changed her mind forever? Oh my God, you guys, don't let no one discourage you. Whatever you put your mind to, climb high as far as you possibly can with your goals in life. I never cut class. I love getting A's. I like being smart. I like being on time. I thought being smart was cooler than anything in the whole wide world. And that's from the words of the mouth of Michelle Obama. Wow, this was an awesome chapters 1 and 2 was an awesome 2 stories on today. So we're going to be reading about Michelle Obama on this week. So this is a chapter book. So we'll read 2 books today. Tomorrow we're going to be reading about her stay at Princeton College. Guys, remember, always set your goals high. Whatever you set your goals to be, make sure you're sticking to those goals. I know maybe sometime later on in life that you may decide to change your goals, but guess what? Don't let no one discourage you. Michelle Obama, she didn't let them discourage her. Guess what? She went right on ahead to the assistant principal. They knew her very well. She was an awesome student. Good. She got good grades. So make sure when you do your work, make sure that you are doing your best. And if you need help, that's what after school programs are for tutoring. So whatever you're lacking in your classes, or maybe you don't get straight A's like Michelle Obama, make sure you're doing your best. And if you're lacking at anything, you guys, you can give me a call. Remember, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Miss Doris at Storytime does tutoring. I do free tutoring on Tuesdays and Thursdays in increments of 30 minutes. So guys, there is no excuse. If you need help, make sure mom and dads, that you're reaching out to Miss Doris if our kids are struggling with anything. I don't care if you live in Texas, Louisiana, California. We do all our classes, our tutoring online. So don't forget, guys, reach out to me. I'm here to help you as your Storytime reader. I'm so excited. You guys are awesome listeners on today. Remember, if you're not feeling well, always let someone know that you're not feeling well. And guess what? They would take really good care of you. And when you're out and about, or playing with that favorite toy, or reading a book, or maybe you at the library. I know today there's no school, so you guys has lots of freedom, lots of free time on today. But make sure that you're still practicing safety first at all times. And in some places, they have lifted the mandate for for wearing your mask. But guess what? In other places, they haven't. So in some places, it's still imperative that you are wearing your mask. So make sure, guys, you are wearing your mask at all times. Don't take them off unless someone tells you to. I enjoyed reading you an awesome story on becoming a leader like Michelle Obama on today. Take care. And as we always say at the end of our story time, if you're not smiling on today, I hope once you see Miss Doris' smile that you are smiling. Have an awesome day. Take care. See you on tomorrow. Remember to smile.